All right, this is it. Thank you. Part 4 of the epic cleanest install of a thing ever. It's been a while, and I forget where part 3 left, so I'm just sort of rambling, because I may not do another VR video unless you guys really want it. Here's what's happened. Here's what's happened since 3. I used to have the 2 lighthouses, one there that I installed in there, and it plugs in there, and one there that I installed beautifully. Here's how the wire wrap looks. It's tucked into the corner. It's beautiful. Here's the oohs. Great. I decided I wanted more motion precision, so I bought a 3rd lighthouse. And I installed it here, which is where I was considering installing it. A lot of research went into figuring out if you want to go, like I was deciding I want to go front left, front right, and then move that one where the projector is and sort of get a perfect equilateral triangle. That is not how they recommend doing it. They want an L-shaped because the normal diagonal and then filling in the diagonal. So that's how this is done. Now here's the kicker. So I had the 2 originals, bought the 3rd one, put it there. 3rd one, a little bit noisy. See, there's a spinning mirror in there. And if you put it on like a wall, like take vibrations, it would be very obvious. This is a concrete pillar, and it was still obvious. I was just getting. Punch your wall? Yeah, I punch walls. Douglas Mark Stevens III is here, playing with my headphones. So I'm like, shit, this is like, it's got to be a defective one because the other ones are just spinning constantly and not having any problems. So I'm like, all right, I'll deal with it later. I unplug the 3rd one because it literally is noisy enough to bother me when I'm watching movies. And a week or 2 goes by, and all of a sudden, red dot. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I tried it on a different transformer, tried it, turn it back on, plug it in, blink, blink, red dot. No noise, nothing. So I had a noisy one and a dead one. And I contacted Steam support, and I said, hey, I have this one and this one, these serial numbers, and they went, perfect, we're sending you 2 new ones. Put the broken ones in the thing, put these labels in the box with it, and return it, you're done. Like the easiest, they know something, if there's a flaw in them, they know it, and they know they have to have Steam. Everyone can have their opinions on Steam, and they have it made Half-Life 3, and blah, blah, blah. But you tell them your hardware fucked, they'll give you like, hey, try this to fix it, try this to fix it, try this to fix it, didn't fix it. Okay, here's new ones. And they sent them out before I replaced them because I still had one perfectly working one and one noisy one. So I put the noisy one there, the perfectly working one, took the dead one on the table, and then when the new ones arrived, swapped them out. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So, 3 perfect lighthouses, everything installed, nice and neat. This system, I have still not, because here it's low, you can see it's low, it's way in my face. But when you are up and playing, which I just keep the, this is the extra padding for if you have a really small child's head. I keep that on the lenses. If you're up and playing, that tends to go up, and it only dips down when you're like right here. And I've never, like I think I should catch my head on it, and I never do. I'm still going to probably remote, put that back on the floor. Hope that's fine. I'm still probably going to take this setup here with the dual poles, which lets me get all the way to that side of the room. And I'm going to remote it to some sort of mechanical system that I could put up behind the girls or up and over, just so that it's just keeping the wire out of play. I got these mask covers, which are washable. These are VR covers. I will have pasta link to the VR covers. It's on a weird site. And they just, I unbox them and they loop around. I want to get more of these. Valve sells these, 40 bucks for a 2-pack of the full printed magnets, padded everything. I want to get one, I want to modify it. I want to cut the sides, I want to see if I can get it to fit my shape, my face a little better. Out of stock, forever. Forever and ever. I know they sell the 3D, or they give away the 3D documents. I would love to just have an extra one. Since I only have one, these socks work pretty well as just sweating in it, sweating in it, sweating in it, throw it in the wash, put the other one on, sweating it, put the new one on. So that sort of thing. Not much else to discuss about this setup, although I will say this, my computer that runs it there's some interesting stuff going on right now because you could see VR is being displayed on my TV. Well, maybe you can. Look, there's the VR world. Now, as you should know from the first 3 parts, this computer in here is what's running this whole thing. And it's got, I don't know how many, 5, 7 video outputs. So vertical 4K, just because. You can see 3 base stations are hooked up. I have this is the main monitor. Secondary 1080p monitor, which is the living room, is coming out of here. Whoop. It's coming out of there, going through the wall. And it was originally just going into this receiver as a Blu-ray disc DVD, and it was pushing out there. And actually, that's great because Pasta was playing Beat Saber.
You're talking how awesome your VR is?
I'm just discussing the final setup as of now.
I was gonna say, I can vouch for it because we have a lot of VR arcade stuff in my town, and this is the best VR arcade anything that I've ever tried.
Good. Point is, since I'm running on HDMI in here and Blu-ray, I can pick if I want this to have sound, or for Beat Saber and Pasta and streaming, just have the speakers do Beat Saber sound. So, because she doesn't like earphones, like right close sound, and having my living room be the sound for Beat Saber is amazing. I've also adjusted it and told it that my monitor is that way, because I don't like playing VR facing that. I'd rather play VR facing the TV, which is bad. They don't want you smashing your monitor.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure in a living room like this, it's fine. And it's just easier for me to then you can face the speakers also. People are talking. Where was I?
Where were you?
I should probably... All right, so the system right now is running into here. Currently, I have my Elgato, which I use to live stream with the remote, tapped into it before we get here, because if I want to do live streaming, or if Pasta's going to live stream, she wants to be able to show what she's playing and then have her webcam of her laptop show her Beat Sabering. Or I think we're going to have her play Super Hot.
Yeah.
By the way, if I haven't discussed this, because I don't remember where I was in part 3, I bought Super Hot at
it's awesome.
10 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night.
Best experience on the Valve.
And
the hands.
The controllers are insane. Literally being able to, because on I don't even know, I wouldn't even want to play it on a Vive or something, because you had to click.
It's still fun on a Vive. It's
like literally just grabbing a gun out of midair, shoot, and then throwing it with your hand open to hit a dude in the face. And here's the thing: you can't. You practice No. You gotta fucking throw it.
It's fun on
you gotta
VR,
throw
but
it.
it's way more fun on your setup.
It's just throw it, grab. Probably the best. That. It would be the sale of VR is just that.
You sold me. I'm gonna play Super Hot now tonight.
I'm doing it.
You're gonna do it first?
The only thing I got is getting that wire up. That's it. I'm done. VR in this room. The last problem, and this might indicate future videos, is here's my baby. Look at my baby, my sim racing baby.
Rig.
And I haven't raced in VR, but I stood. I didn't sit. I stood in a car on the Index. I loaded up R Factor 2, and it's weird because by the way, there's a dead pixel. It's weird because R Factor 2 shows a giant screen. It's like you're standing 8 feet from an IMAX, and there's no mouse, so I had to touch the mouse and touch the thing with the VR view. But then I was just standing in a car, and I was in that car, and I was like, oh, there's the fan, and there's this gear shift, and I'm standing, and I was like, and I leaned my head out the window, and I'm like, there's the ground. I need to VR race. So that whole cockpit being set up in this room, or half set up in this room, broken. My whole soul is broken. I could never race on a screen again. I mean, I'm gonna want to, maybe. I would love the speakers and the wheels mounted. I love the feel of my wheel and the shifter. What I might have to end up doing is abandon that area and either move Chewbacca's litter box or, well, I don't have much space for it, but build some sort of collapsible rig with my seat that I could just roll out into the middle of my living room, pop on my VR headset, because I could legitimately just use the VR that's in there, but I don't have any tracking lighthouses, and they ain't that cheap. So I would have to take this, disconnect it from all this shit, bring it through the wall, plug it back into that computer, bring it over here, have lighthouses set up here so I could track it. It's not worth, this space doesn't need to be the VR driving space. Wherever the most, you just get to the headset. Get to the fucking headset. So it sort of changes up my dreams, because that was like, oh, my dream, all that. This is my workroom. I should not be playing games in this room. I mean, much. But if I could make a compact enough seat, all I need one of those cheap pedal and steering wheel things. They're tiny and fold up. That would be my next sim racing project. Unless I go full bore and build like a full VR that spins around. Like that's my ultimate goal, is to build a motion rig that has 360-degree endless motion, and everything is built onto it or wireless or brushed power onto it, so that if I'm turning, the ultimate dream, and this has nothing to do with VR, would be in a motion rig that just turns your physical whole being as you're driving the car. So if you're driving the Nord Street, if you're doing this, you go around the carousel. So if you drive a loop, an oval, you'd spin once every time. But then imagine you step on the gas and like, I love that. People do motion like this. People do some leaning. I want to spin. I want to build a giant 4-foot around gear in sections, and have 3 or 4, motors on strain relieves, and I want to be able to spin myself around like 180 degrees in a second. Just flip and whiplash legit in sim racing. And if you had the headset on for that, you'd feel it. Like, I think you'd feel it probably more if you had screens and you could see the world moving around. But that's like future. I don't think I can make that happen right now. I don't think. Maybe. But as far as the VR goes, the 6-foot extension still shows some snow. Occasionally. I think it's got to do when I lose turn signal and I'm just starting to spin this wire. I think if I spin the wire too much, that's when snow appears. So it's got to be, it's a little bit of a delicate thing. So I hope that this is a replaceable cable for like less than $50, should that time come. But every part of the system has worked out beautifully. I have this, this is my Archon phone holder that I used to use Skype with. Why'd this one die? Please tell me you're not dead. And I just do literally that. Can you get a better? Like, this is, I modified this with magnets, with a ring magnet inside the suction cup, so that I could just stick it to things, and I just go, and it holds my joysticks. You do it this way too if you want. So that's just a cool way of holding a joystick, is any old cell phone holder that you buy on Amazon. Pasta! I know she's asleep, but Pasta links cell phone holders, so you can just do, because that's cool. And yeah, I love everything about this. This is defo the future. Front towards enemy, I put on this, by the way. I think there's definitely a full-on cover that makes this look like a Claymore, but that's what I got. So above all, my the final thing I wanted to say. When I push the graphics card, my final setting, 90 hertz, 106%. That's it. This thing will do 144 hertz, and I can push it to 150% resolution. My computer restarts. I've been having that problem. I don't know if I mentioned it in my previous videos, and I'm gonna try power supply first, because I do have an Enermax in here, and Enermax is not the brand it used to be. You look at the reviews, and it's only a 530 watt for a GTX 1080 and a 6700K and 16 gigs of RAM. So the first thing I'm going to try is I'm going to swap that power supply out, about 1,000 watt Seasonic. And if that doesn't make my graphics card more stable or everything more stable, Then I'll start troubleshooting other things. I do plan on building a new computer coming up in the next year or in a couple months. Probably Ryzen. I do a lot of video encoding. Just fuckit.com. So I would end up taking that new 1,000 watt power supply and putting it in my new build. Put this one back together. Keep it as like a backup. What are you doing?
Music.
It's boring. Music is boring. So yeah, so now I can party mode, screen showing what's in VR, sound playing out of the speakers that are playing in VR. The VR rig works flawlessly with this suspension system with the magnets. This is still like, just let that up. Just let it up and you're done. But really proud of this, the way it came out. And I'm trying to get my friends and family all to show up just to play with a little bit. That's about it. I don't just move my coffee tables out of the way. You're good to go. The Chewbacca does still like stand there while you're playing Super Hot, so try not to punch her. And yeah, the next revision of this will probably be down the road, 6-7 months. I'll talk about sim racing. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I've been trying to get back into sim racing for years. I'm a little bit upset because I kickstarted a direct drive wheel for $500. I was like, oh, hell yeah, give it to me. It's been 2 years. They just started manufacturing pedals. And the guy's like, well, we don't know how to actually manufacture anything, so we're going to start with pedals if that's okay with everybody. And 8 or 9 people are like, yeah, that's great. Just whatever, man. We've got time in the world. And the one guy was like, fuck you. I paid for a wheel. Just give me the wheel. You don't need to figure out how to manufacture. Just give me a wheel. Give me the motor and the controller. Wheel. I don't want pedals. I have pedals. Pedals are easy. Pedals are the first thing you should DIY is pedals, because it's a potentiometer and a fucking stick. Shifters are hard. Wheels are impossible, but wheels are like just the hard. I'm sad. So sim racing on my G27, it's a modified G27, but it's still not a direct drive. So that's the only thing holding me back. In the meantime, I'm gonna play Super Hot, or mostly I like dicking around in environments because they are so well done. So well done. The census scale, I did Google Maps, and then Super Hot is probably the best experience I've had as far as shooters. Enjoy VR, whatever you can get your hands on. I hope I've proved that you can actually have like a nice, clean looking, just sort of hidden base station setup. Granted, I had things there, but you can just pop a hole in the wall. Just drill a little baby hole, run the thing down, little baby hole, and fish it out, and you'll be fine. In the interim, I'm going to now play things because it's 11:20 at night, and that's the perfect time to VR. So I'll see you all for a normal unboxing tomorrow. Thank you for stopping by for part 4 of Peace.